Ugh. Hello, hi. Uh, oh man. So I've rearranged a lot of things in my studio lately, so I have no idea, and I've rearranged a lot of OBS as well. So I don't know if I'm audible. Am I audible? Can you hear me? How do I sound? Oh, hello, Eris. How's it going? It's been a minute. I'm good. All right, cool. I like to hear that I'm good. I need to get this off my neck. I don't know why, but these Bluetooth headphones, I spend like you know I don't know, three-quarters of my life with these around my neck. But when I come in here, it is so damn hot in this office that somehow they overheat me. I don't get it. How does that work? It's just a little band of plastic around my neck. How can it make me that hot? Well, anyway, all right. So this is going to be a short stream. I just felt like uh, I felt like recording this unmomentous occasion. So you might recall that I made a video like a year or two ago. It was probably, honestly, given the absurd time dilation of my YouTube experience, because yeah, like it feels like I've been doing this for 10 years, but it turns out that like three-quarters of my significant output is like in the last 18 months at most. I never I have a really hard time accepting that, but every time I look at I've released like 40 videos this year or something. It's ridiculous. Oh, sorry, the void. I mean, there we go. That's for later. Anyway, but so like a year and a half ago or something like that, I made this video called "Meet the Edge" about this computer here, and uh, the whole idea there was this: I wanted to build like a standard mid-era, like a Pentium 4 machine that I could just use as a test bed for like weird PC stuff. If I needed to test demonstrate like a graphics card or a piece of software or whatever, I would have like a standard machine to do it with. And I made a video about it, partly just because, and partly because the case is the weirdest damn thing in the world. I mean, you're looking at it, right? In case you didn't see that video, good lord, look at this thing. It's literally built upside down. If we look at the back, you can see the board's on the wrong side, the power supply's on the bottom, the cards are up here, and then on the front, the optical drive, the floppy drive are at the bottom and whatnot. And it's cute. I think I found this at RePC and I just thought, there it is. It's so distinctive. And it's called The Edge. It says The Edge on it. So I thought, that's funny. So I deep fried this picture of a man from the popular band U2. And I put him on there and I thought, okay, we've got something. Well, as it turns out, we didn't really have anything. It kind of sucks. The way it went was I thought this would be great, but it immediately ran into so many problems. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about actually what it was. This thing was originally sold as a waiting room entertainment and marketing system. So this is a generic case made by a British company, I think called Time Machine or just Time, and I think they sold PCs called Time Machines. Anyway, the case itself is very cute, but okay. So for one thing, I like the handle, but it is plastic. I think if I shut up, you'll be able to hear. You getting that? I'll bet you're getting that. Yeah, so I don't trust lifting it by that. It's also this awful sort of unbalanced thing. It just sounds like it's going to snap in half at any moment. There's no metal in it as far as I know, so that was a liability. There's also the fact that opening it up sucks, and I hadn't really taken that into account. One thing with me is every single computer I ever buy needs to be easy to open because I never, ever leave them the way they are. Every time I buy a computer or build a computer, I put all the parts in it, I get it all working, I go, there it is, and then not 2 weeks later, I'm taking parts out of it and putting parts into it and changing things around. It's just all the time. It never fails. And this case ended up being really, really hard to work on. And I'll show you what I mean. So first off, before you could do anything whatsoever, you first have to take this cowling off the back, and the cowling doesn't do anything. It's literally just plastic. It's there for no reason. So you gotta pull these tabs down, which are gonna snap eventually, and then you slide that off. Okay. Now I could just throw this away, but I mean, among other things, then I would have this obvious ridge back here, and also, come on, just come the fuck on, like, really? I'm gonna go to all the bother to get this distinctive looking case, and then just like pull parts of it off. That's a sign, right? That maybe it's not the way to do it. Another thing is the case sides, although they could be screwed on, they can come off toollessly. So I thought that was a good thing. There's these two little catches here and here, so you squeeze those, you pull it back, but it only slides that far. Then you have to turn it and tilt it and pull it out. And you know, that's not so bad, except that it turns out it's actually kind of hard to line it up, because this part here, this whole blue strip is, it has to locate very specifically. It has to locate ahead of this ridge here. So if I try and put it on like this and slide it forward, it won't seat, and you can't lean it in at the right spot. So you've got to find this there's like a 1/4 inch hot spot where it'll tab in there and slide forward, and then it can still get off on the front. So anyway, if we want to replace the CD-ROM, for instance, we have to take both sides off. So we take that one off, and of course it's got that miserable rattly piece of metal on the side, right? Take that one off too, which doesn't even have the metal for some reason. Okay, and now we're still nowhere. We still can't do anything. Now we have to take the front off. And to do that, there's these tabs here and on the other side. So you have to take both sides off to get to those. So you squeeze those, push forward, and the front hinges off, right? But there you go. Just sort of slides out. And then it turns out that inside there's these little hinges that the buttons ride on. Well, I thought those were weird but clever. It turns out they're weird and bad. Basically, they don't reliably hit the buttons. You know, whatever I did with it, I never got the buttons to work reliably. And then the floppy drive bracket, it's one of those ones that's got the custom button on it, and it could be just fiendishly hard to get a floppy drive to line up with that, and I always had trouble with it. Same thing with the optical drive bracket. And then the USB ports are down at the bottom, and it turns out those are like really inconvenient to plug into, especially because if you have anything on the desk in front of it. Yeah, so you want them up here, really. So really, in order to use this thing conveniently, I would have to have it completely gutted, like you see here. I would have to have it completely torn apart all the time, you know, and obviously this is nothing. Okay, and then it gets worse, right? So if we look at the overhead view here, let me just get the damn, oh, come on. Don't mess with me on the focus. Come on, bud. There we go. So if we look at the inside here, first things first, it's just very cramped. You know, it's a mini tower case in theory, but sort of in practice, it's just kind of worse than that. Give me a second. There we go. There's the focus. Damn it, Holly. I saw that. So to get an optical drive out, you've got to obviously unscrew it, which requires removing both case sides, but that part's normal. And then you have to sort of get in here and wiggle the damn cables out. Well, but there's also no 3.5-inch bay. There's one for the floppy drive, but I don't think there was ever one for a hard drive. So this hard drive has just been dangling in here because previously what I had done, when again I had not thought to myself that I'd be rebuilding this machine all the time, I had put a hard drive down there, you see, in a 3.5 carrier, and it turns out that it's so hard to get to that when it died, and of course it did die very quickly, I just didn't have the energy to take it out. And another thing is, if we look here, you can see that I've actually had to Sharpie the exact location that you need to put the screw in for the CD-ROM, because of course this being a custom case, if you move it forward or back any, it won't line up with the front edge. And it's harder to do that by trial and error in this case than in most, even though that's a pretty common issue. And there's also just not a lot of room here to work with. The CPU is down here, which means your cable mess tends to get stuck in the fan. It's also dark. It's just very dark. This is an enhancement to the stream setup, you may have noticed you can actually see inside this thing, and I'm going to show you that that's because I actually put in a new overhead light. If we turn this off, you can almost not see shit. And the thing is, this is just sort of like that anyway. You know, with this thing sitting upright, this is what it looks like inside at all times. You just can't see anything. So I don't want to have to use an LED panel every time I want to work on my computer. That sucks. So, you know, let's this is an adjustable temperature light also. So let's get that warmer. Or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, warmer, right? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Warmer is lower on the number. God. Why can't I ever remember this? There we go. That's looking nice and grocery store meat section. So anyway, what we're going to do. Oh, hello, microphone. You know, I don't mind you up there. You're okay. I'm just going to leave you. What we're going to do is we're going to repackage this machine into a case that's much better for it. I should mention also that, you know, no part of the original machine remains anyway. The hard drive died, but also the graphics card stopped working and the sound card was crap and the motherboard died. So I've replaced all the parts anyway. So, you know, I've theseused this ship. I might as well just finish the job. So I went over to the Re-PC and I got a new case. And I was thinking like, oh, should I make a video, like a proper video about me rebuilding this thing? And I'm like, you know what though? It only showed up in one video after I built it. No one really cares. You know, it's not gonna be missed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put it into this case. I just figured I would stream that. People seem to enjoy me doing computers. Yeah, that's true. Re-PC, EPC, EP. EP. You know what's funny is that today I'm actually not very EP. Most days lately, good lord, I've been pretty damn EP. So anyway, this is one of those cases that got used to death by like Hard Drives Northwest. And there's a couple things I like about it. I used to work at Re-PC and I handled an enormous number of computers, thousands. I was their system builder for a while, so I just handled tons and tons and tons of machines. And I got to know a lot of the common generic cases that got used by system builders. And this one, I'm not sure who actually made it. Maybe it says on the bottom. Nope, doesn't say on the bottom. So I'm not sure who actually built these. But they got used by a couple of companies, and one of them was a really popular system builder up here, Hard Drives Northwest. I think they built fleet machines for businesses and whatnot. And one second. Oh, thank you. Yes, since I quit my job, I have felt like I've got more color on my face. It hasn't gotten trivial, but it really feels like I'm not just constantly drowning. Although I'm almost drowning in shit because my damn sewer still isn't fixed. That's a whole story. I was gonna do a fundraiser stream to help pay for my sewer repair, which is now looking like it's gonna be like $30,000. I was able to get a bank loan though, and my GoFundMe drummed up a good like 10 grand, and that was enough to proceed with it. But I'm gonna be in a lot of debt, and I suspect there'll be more problems after that. So I may end up doing a stream anyway, but I decided to cancel it when I like the situation changed abruptly, fairly early into the process. So I decided to hold off until everything was done, and then I'm probably still going to do a fundraiser later to try and cut down on the debt some, because like, yeah, I'll survive, but it's going to be a huge hardship. It's going to make my channel a lot harder to run and whatnot if I have to pay $600 a month for the next 6 years. That could be my whole YouTube career, right? So I'd rather not have that millstone around my neck. But that said, the plumbing project has just ended up, it's not a nightmare per se, but you know, we thought it was going to take a day or two. It's on day 4, I think, and it took them 3 days just to dig up the pipe because it wasn't where they thought it was. And they ended up having to like dig into the neighbor's yard, and gosh, it's just a mess. It's a real mess. And sorry. That whole thing, I decided to just, back burner, doing the fundraiser stream until I actually knew how much I was going to need. But yeah, so it's just one of those things where when you're grown up, life comes at you fast and it just doesn't stop coming. And you just keep thinking like, okay, we'll get through this big thing. And then we'll do another. Yeah, we'll get through this bit. We'll get through this current nightmare, and then we can relax, catch our breath, and do. Oh God damn it! It's on fire again. Something's on fire again. So, but by the way, sorry. Before I forget, if anybody is thinking of donating anything, please do not go through PayPal. I have a GoFundMe link. Shit, I don't know. If Daria's watching, I'm sure she could post it in the chat. Actually, she might not be able to because it's a link. Damn it. Basically, don't donate through PayPal because I'll have to pay taxes on it. If it goes to the GoFundMe, then it's a donation, rather than a payment quid pro quo. And I just want to keep that distinct. Anyway, going back to what we're doing. So this case here is a fairly generic case. I went through all the cases that RePC had, but the problem is most of them are made in the last 10 years or so, and so they're just way too new. Oh, there we go. Hey, Daria was able. Oh, because she's a moderator. That's right. Daria was able to post the link. Don't go through Coffee. Coffee's just PayPal. So same thing. You should only go through the GoFundMe, please. Anyway, but let me gather my thoughts. There we go. Most of the cases at RePC were way too new for what I wanted. If I'm ever going to have this thing on screen, I don't want it to look like a fractal design that's got a i7 in it. I want it to look a little dated. I'm pretty sure that I got Pentium 4s when I was working at RePC that came in a case like this, and even so, like it doesn't immediately look like a modern case. It's got the silver paint, and the AC97 colored ports on the front and whatnot. So I figured this would be a reasonable option. It also has some features I like. So for instance, it's got a quick release case design, these plastic latches. They look flimsy, but they actually do a pretty good job of keeping the sides on. I don't really remember these popping out when I used to handle them all the time. So that's good. And those are on both sides. So we could very easily, here, let's set this guy down here. Pop, just like that. And it's also got this fan grill thing on the side that mates up with, if you look at the overhead view, there's this duct, right? I might lose the duct, but this is meant to collect the air from that duct and vent it out. And it also, however, just makes a really good grip. Great hand grip. So, and yeah, Daria was saying that this thing looks like a Dell, and that's fair. I respect that. It's not actually a Dell as far as I know. I don't think they ever used it. It just sort of looks like a contemporary OEM machine from the 2000s and early 2010s era. So it's good enough for me. And if we look at the insides here, there's more cool stuff. These are quick releases. So if you want to put a CD-ROM in here, do I have a CD-ROM handy? I just had all those CD-ROMs, but I took them all home. However, there's also the 3.5 bay, and I can demo that because I've got a hard drive here. And again, that also is quick release. So we just do this, and it just swings right out like that, and then it locks in the upper position. How do you like that? That is really slick, isn't it? And you just pull that again to put it back down. Terrific. I always used to love these cases. And look, they've got this locating peg here to make sure that it lands where it's supposed to. Absolutely terrific. Anyway, so if we want to install a hard drive, we should be able to just pop those, and then we'll just slide this in here. Okay. Done. All right, hard drive's in. Now, can you argue with that? Is that not terrific? And the same goes for the everything else. We can install a floppy drive. Yep, floppy drive with just push pins, and we just stick the CD-ROM in there, and Bob's your uncle. So it's a terrific machine for dinking around, for experimentation. Also, although I don't know if I'll necessarily use this. Sorry, one moment. Yeah, this case is not stupid. It is not upside down. This one is very right side up. Also, it has a quick release for the PCI cards. So you press that, fold that out. That holds all those down. Now you can use screws if you want because it's got holes, so you can put screws in there anyway. So you could screw in your top card, but still be able to easily remove the lower cards. So that's pretty awesome. And I think that's all the features, which is good. Ultimately you don't necessarily want to have tons of features per se in a case. You want it to just be a case. Oh, also I think the front panel pops off. Yep, just like that. Yeah, look at this. There's actually a, whoa, a little heavy. there's actually a mechanism down here, a plastic spring for this release to let you release the front. So how cool is that? So yeah, it's just a really neat case. I don't think I want to keep the fan shroud. I'm pretty sure I don't. Also, I found this in the garbage, and it had a board in it already. And I'm not going to keep it because it's too new. It's a Core 2 quad, so it's not appropriate for this particular machine's intent. But I'm going to keep the board itself just to use for other things. The fan for this thing, sorry, this is going to be disgusting, but the fan for this thing is absolutely just got smoker's lung. Yeah. And as it turns out, all the pins are snapped off. See, all the feet are missing, so this sink won't work anyway. Yeah, it's a great crisis machine. You're absolutely right. So I'm going to lose that. By the way, I can't see chat very well, and also, to be frank, in earlier streams, I had a real problem with like spending my whole time reading and responding to chat. And like, although I do like interacting with folks, I also am trying to perform here. So I'm trying to pay less attention to chat. Sorry, I just, cherry pick a few words here and there. So that's why usually when I see somebody's message, as soon as I looked over and like a noun stood out at me. So I'm not seeing most of your messages, and that's on purpose. Sorry. Anyway, so the power supply is also a little dirty, but it's a 480 watt Power Man, which is okay for this era. Whoopsie. So I think double whoopsie. There we go. This is a 480 watt Power Man, which are, as I recall, fairly decent. So I'm going to want to keep that, but I think I'm going to move over the power supply that's in the edge. However, what I was going to do first, that's right, I didn't actually test this thing. I just took it sight unseen. No idea what's going on with it. Is this even a Core 2 quad? Yes, it is. It's a Core 2 quad. So, yeah, that's the other thing. Like Daria just said, I need to buy some leeks because we're having twice cooked pork for dinner. So I got to buy some leeks and get home, and then I have to move a refrigerator. So got a busy schedule. Anyway, even though this sink is broken, I'm just going to lay it on there because we are going to fire this up and just see if it works, because I don't even know if it functions. Gosh, that's nice. Look at that. Just put the front on, just like that. Done. Oh, that's so much easier than the damn edge. Oh, poor guy. Anyway. All right, let's Yeah, exactly. Core 2 Quad is a really solid late Windows XP machine or early Vista machine. Funny thing, I think I stayed on XP until I got an i7. I think that's true. I think I skipped Vista entirely back in its day and just went straight to Windows 7 when I got an i7. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's what I remember. Anyway, let's see. Turn the power supply off there. Plug that in. Where is my input? Is that my input? It sure looks like an input to me. If I was an input, would I look like this? Yes, probably. Okay. Passes the sniff test. Wow. This is an Intel desktop board, by the way, which is, God, this thing is really in between generations. It's got FireWire and then 6 USBs. They're probably all USB 2.0 instead of 3. But I was going to say a fun thing about the Intel desktop boards is, even though this is a system builder machine, they packed in these stickers that go in the case that tell you all the stuff about the board. So even though it's essentially a home built machine for all intents and purposes, it still sort of has that OEM energy. I just think that's fun. All right, so let's see if this works. VGA on. We got our VGA, our keyboard, our mouse. Turn our power on, and binkle. Oh, did I unplug something important? Oh, no, there we go. Okay, it's on. Are we gonna get a picture? Are we gonna get a picture? Are we gonna get a picture? Oh, oh. I think it's restarting over and over. Oh, no, there we go. Suitable boot device has not been found. Please refer to the product guide. Okay, there we go. Restart that. By the way, I don't know if I've talked about this on stream, but I'm using an Extron video scaler to do my VGA to HDMI conversion. And it's terrific because, as you can see, you get a picture right from post the moment video comes out. And because it's an Extron and it's intended for you know, serious presentations and live shows and whatnot, it just coerces everything into 1080p. It doesn't care. You tell it what output resolution you want, it just squeezes everything into it. I'm not going to worry about the machine burning itself up because it actually has a heat sink that's sitting on the CPU with compound. I think it'll cool enough to survive. Okay, we've got 8 gigs of RAM and dual channel. This is a... Sorry, fan just sped up. It probably is overheating. Let's see. Can we see? It's not going to burn itself out. It's, you know, these things can go down to 600 megahertz to protect themselves. It'll be fine. What do we have? Is MCH the CPU? Because, yeah, that is going up. 75. Well, it's hovering at 76. All right. Well, anyway, so the board works. I'll just get a good socket 775 cooler. I couldn't find one at RePC. They were all broken. I'm going to have to get one out of another machine. So that's great. Glad that works. I'm also really glad that the damn scaler works. I can't remember if I've used it in an actual stream before, and I was excited to try it out because, you know, using an OSSC or whatever, they have their uses, but good Lord, they're just so picky. And I tried using a GBS scaler. That was picky too, but this Extron, I'd show it to you if it wasn't on the floor doing its job. I'm probably going to end up Velcroing it to the bottom of the table because it's just going to be a permanent part of my setup. But it is so nice not having to worry about, oh, did the scaler freeze? You know, did the scaler misalign the input? You know, yada, yada. There's all these things that can go wrong with a lot of these things. But this one, because it's designed for a, you know, failure is not an option kind of use case, it just takes whatever it can get and just slams it on the screen. And for a capture device, also, I had a lot of iffy experiences with different capture devices. What I switched to now is an Elgato Camlink Pro, I think is the name, which I think is actually discontinued, which is a shame. I don't know if it's literally discontinued, but I think it's out of stock everywhere. I managed to get one used for like $140, $170, something like that. It's a 4-input HDMI capture card that does 1080p 60 on all inputs. Absolutely terrific. Works great. Haven't had any problems with it. And it's PCIe, which means I don't have to worry about, ooh, I ran out of USB bus bandwidth. Oh no. So, all right, let's get to tearing this thing apart so I can go buy my leaks, which means I'm gonna need to find my screwdriver. I don't know, I can't figure out where the hell my screwdriver went, so I'll be right back. Well, that didn't take long. Found my Phillips head. It was over on my desk. So let's go ahead and start tearing this thing apart. So first things first, I really don't think that I want to keep this focus. Come on. There we go. I really don't think I want to keep this, so I'm going to go ahead and... No, that's not how you do it. What is it? That holds the fan on. This holds the cowling on. Whoop. I'm going to keep the cowling, or the duct. That's what I should say. It's a duct. I'm going to keep the duct. I'm going to keep the screws in it in case I decide that it just completes the look. Complete the look. Also, one thing I should mention about this machine, I thought it was rusty at first, and I was going to no-bill the case. But I realized it's not rust. But it wasn't a rock. It was a rock lobster. This is paint. Somebody sprayed paint. Or something. It's, I'm not sure what that is. Now that I look at it a little closer. Oopsie. Oh, that's too far. Yeah, it's got a patina. Come on. Come on, bud. Focus. You can do it. Come on, bud. I know you can do it. Oh, I have to do it by hand. Oh, too far. There we go. So yeah, this stuff has kind of a weird semi-translucent sheen to it. I don't know. It's not like dried coffee or something. It's something more serious than that. It's very hard. There we go. No idea what that is. That's just weird. Anyway. I love the awful focus pull every time I zoom out on the camera. I think it gives it a certain verve. Alright. Let's pull that guy. And yeah, again, that's just a duct. It's not actually a fan. So we're not losing anything there. And also, curiously, it sits in front of this fan in the back. So it's actually cutting off the airflow to it. I'm not sure what impact that has. So let's put these screws back in here for safekeeping, and maybe, I don't know, some later date I'll put it back together if I really like it. Also, obviously the machine's quite dusty, to say the least. It's got some cobwebs in there, and it looks like the sort that it's got some of that nicotine energy going on, I think. So it's gonna be kind of tough to clear all that crap out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull all the hardware first so we can get a clear shot at it. It's obviously trash. And then, so I'll have to clean this fan up, although I guess I could replace it. I might have a replacement, but get that Noctua, baby. Oh man, where are my clippers? Damn it. There we go. Barbarian, but I didn't want to stand up. There we go. And I guess I'll look at the power supply that's currently in the edge before I lose this. Might keep it. So, hey, I got some free SATA cables out of it because I didn't have enough of those. Ding dong. Hate the latch. The latch on the SATA cables. I think that's dead. I don't think anybody does that anymore. I could be wrong, but I feel like, much like the latch on DisplayPort, it exists pretty much to punish you for being the slightest bit in a hurry. You know? Hate that crap. Wait, what are you? Oh. Huh. Yeah? USB-B. What? It's a weird, like, USB adapter cable. I wonder if... Oh, yeah, huh. Okay, I guess these actually unplug from the front panel. So I just pulled the USB front panel header off the board in the front. Oh, that's kind of annoying. Yeah, I'm going to have to unscrew that in order to feed it back through, but that's okay. Not a big deal. All right, and then let's... Wow, look at the fun SATA port layout here. Intel desktop boards are pretty much right down the center. You know, they're pretty straightforward, generally speaking, but then you got, occasionally, you just have little strange things. I see why they did this, though. It's the battery blinking. Oh, no, I'm sorry. There's a ceiling fan on, so you're seeing the reflection of the fan blades. The edge, the case is just going to go back to the store. I'm just going to throw it away. I've got no use for it, and it's taking up space. I can't keep things like that. If I'd been using it in videos for 10 years, I would auction it off or something, but no. Sorry. It's not worth my time. Way too much effort. The case is shitty too. I wouldn't wish it on anyone. Love that focus pull. It's just delicious. Oh. Huh. Wow, the magnetism on my screwdriver wore off. Dang. That's inconvenient. I love OEM built systems, system builder machines, because they've always got all the screws in. They actually bother to put in every last standoff and every last screw. Anytime a normal person builds a machine, like 9 times out of 10, they'll leave out a screw somewhere. Maybe there'll be a standoff. But usually not every single screw is populated. Like, do you really need to have the screw in the middle on the bottom populated? Oh, and that standoff screwed itself out. God damn it. There's always one. Always one. I really wish standoffs were like bayonet mounted or something so you didn't have to put up with this crap. Okay, that should be the last one. Whoa. Huh. Normally these chipset sinks make a pretty good place to pull, but interesting. That one's come off. I didn't know that could happen. Oh, I see. It's missing a bail. There's supposed to be a second plastic bail on this side that holds that down. That's not ideal. Shit, I'm going to have to see if I can replace that, because it's really not very good. I guess I could just shove some lock wire under it. Maybe that'll work. Oh well, bummer. I missed a screw somewhere, pretty sure. Oh, the one in the lower right's actually still gripping. Shit. Pull. They put the wrong thread in here? Bet they did. Yep. Never fails. One screw always ends up being the wrong thread. Yeah, in IDE didn't really go away until second or third gen core, I want to say. That still feels pretty stuck. Did I miss another screw, or? Okay, so that's the MCH. All right, so it is a problem then. All right, well, I'll have to deal with it. There we go. There we go. There we go. Bored. Okay. I realize I'm using the chaos approach of just pouring all the screws out into the machine and then gathering them. I don't like it either, but if you don't have a magnetic screwdriver, it's a real pain to get them all out individually, in my opinion. That's just my opinion, though. That's just how I feel about it. Okay. Obviously, we're going to want to blow this case out, but let's first see if we can get this fan any cleaner? Yeah. A decent amount of the crap off of it. I guess maybe I should unscrew it. Make it a lot easier. One thing that sucks is, like, here at the office, it's really inconvenient to get downstairs just on a whim, so I can't really take stuff outside to blow it out. And of course, blowing it out in here has its own, ooh, that's nasty, has its own downsides, sort of almost defeats the purpose. So I sort of have to be gentle with this stuff. And I don't have a vacuum cleaner here. Yeah, for anybody who's just joining, the whole thesis of this stream is that computer that I built some time back, the Edge, ended up not being really useful for its intended purpose because the case, while quirky and fun, was also just terrible, just absolutely god-awful. It just sucked, and the things that made it unique also made it really not worth it. So I never really used it as much as I don't think I used it in more than 1 or 2 videos. It showed up in the background of both the Scuzzy Tower videos, but other than that, did I use it for anything else? I'm not sure. But yeah, everything about it just sucked. It was just not a good case. And so I decided I wanted to, and plus that, and the motherboard died, the hard drive died, every single part in that machine died. It all died. And so I replaced all the parts anyway. And it sort of put me in mind of the fact that one of the problems you run into in this profession, as it were, when you're a hobbyist, right? When you're just doing this stuff to dick around in your basement, as I was when I started. Ooh, I have monetized my hobbies. If something dies, if something breaks, it's not that big a deal. You know, because you're like, oh, well, that's a bummer. But for me, I need these machines to work when I need them to work. I can't have a machine die in the middle of a shoot. So originally I had built the Edge with like really very sort of period hardware. I'd gotten like a really shitty like 1.4 gigahertz P4 or something like that. And then it died because it's old. You know, those machines are coming up on, yeah, they're over 20 years old at this point. They're over 20 years old. So that old means it's just more likely to die. And sure enough, you know, I put another board in that machine, and that one died too. So it's just, this stuff is all getting very long in the tooth, and it's just not really worth it. If you're dicking around at home, right, and you happen to find a machine that is very, very old, and you grab it and it works, then you play with it, and that's great, right? But if it's your living, you know, then obviously the stakes change. Obviously, you need something that's reliable more than you need something that is cute, you know? So I just decided, like, you know, I'm going to be rebuilding this. I'm going to have to put newer hardware in here than I had necessarily intended. Whoops. And I'm going to be rebuilding this machine. I'm going to be putting new parts in it regularly. I know this is going to happen. I just need to accept it and not try and pretend that it's going to be a stationary target, as it were. So with that in mind, I'm just like, you know what? Let's just get practical, because gimmicks are just inconvenient. You can't rely on them. And I have enough problems anyway. You know, I buy stuff, the parts, the accessories, and software and whatnot that I'm messing with, that's unreliable in its own way. I don't need to add to it. So I just decided that I wanted to focus on practicality. And that means a case that's very easy to work on, because, again, if you weren't here 20, 30 minutes ago, you might have missed this, but let me just illustrate. Oh no, the hard drive in the new Edge failed. Just like that. Take that one out. Done. We're fixed. All right. CD-ROM fails. Pop these ones. Done. You know, rut-row, I need to get to the front of the case. No problem. Just comes off, you know. So it's a great case for maintenance, and I know that because back when I worked computer repair, I used to handle hundreds and hundreds of these every year. And this particular case, came in a lot, because there was a local company called Hard Drives Northwest that used to build tons of machines in this and similar cases from the same company. And I just got very used to it being very easy to work on. The other thing that sucks about machines that have this kind of dust, it's not as bad as like heavy nicotine tobacco dust, but it's still the case that you try to blow it out with compressed air and it just doesn't work because the stuff is sticky, right? Now, this isn't too bad, fortunately, but we do have some sticky on the front here, so let's get at it with the 409. There's no electronics up here, so I can just spray it directly. Hopefully this cleans up, because otherwise it's going to be kind of useless. Gross. Yeah, okay, that's looking a lot better. It's going to take me a little bit to get the whole thing under control, I think, but it looks like it's working. Some crap just needs to get sort of pushed through. One thing that sucks is that there's an airspace between this steel sheeting on the front and these vents on the back, and so you can't fully get in there to exercise all that shit. I mean, you can, but I basically have to bend up these tabs here, all over the place. Bend them all up, and pull the thing off. And, you know, if I can get it pretty damn clean without doing that, that would be preferable. We're into the really exciting part of the stream now, folks. This is the one that's gonna bring the viewers in. Gonna be a regular pootie pie after this. Whoops. While I'm doing this, again, I can't see chat very well, but I'll look at it later, or Dario will see it, or I'll notice it or something. But I'm just curious with this stream setup. Are there often like I know my talking is doing okay, but are there like sound effects that come through way too loud? Like when I'm using a screwdriver on something, or I drop a piece of plastic or something, is it just like bam? Does it detonate, or is it okay? Because I put a limiter on the audio, but I'm never sure if I did a good enough job with stuff like that because I can't hear it directly. Oh, by the way, this had a Core 2 quad sticker on it. I took it off. I'm going to have to dredge up a Pentium 4 badge to stick on it. I don't think there's one on the edge. If there is, I'll borrow that. It's looking pretty good, honestly. Cool, cool. Compression and limiting is dialed in. Terrific. Terrific. Okay, that's good news. This is hard. You know, this is a really hard job getting the stream audio correct. It's harder than doing the normal video production. Because the normal production, obviously, you could hear it when you're working on it, and it's all in post. So, you know, if you made a sound that's too loud, you can dial that specific sound down manually without having to hit it with a bolt, you know, a compressor that affects the whole soundtrack. And you get a chance to make up for it, also, right? You know, if you mess up, you can just try again until you get it right. But with live, you know, it's live. That's part of why I do these live streams, you know. It's a mix of reasons, right? Obviously, it's community interaction, you know, to a certain extent. Like I told you, though, you know, that ends up being so sort of one note that I'm trying to back off from that and just perform more. And so as far as that goes, you know, as you've probably seen from particularly my earlier videos, I'm sort of obsessed with live television. Broadcasting is really cool to me, partially because when you're doing it, it's what's going on. You know, it's a happening. It's a thing that's occurring now. And, you know, it's all by the seat of your pants. And that's always been exciting to me, the idea of just being in the middle of something that's going on. You know, having to get it all right there on the spot. It's pretty neat. Okay, and then, you know, I think what I'm going to do, let's take this hard drive out of here again. Okay, and then I'm actually just going to pour the remaining dust out of the machine. There we go. And wipe that up. The thing that sucks about dust, particularly like stringy, sticky dust, is if you hit it with water, if you hit it with any sort of liquid, it gets worse. It gets harder to manage. And so that's why, you know, if you can swing it, if you can get it off, compressed air is better. But if you don't have that option, as I don't really at the moment, oh, whoops. There we go. Just cleaned up that big mess. Now we have another big mess. Compressed air is preferable because it doesn't wet it, right? Throw that back in there. But otherwise, you just pretty much brush it and wipe it. But then eventually you reach a point where you've gotten enough of it out that you can actually use cleaning fluid to pick up the rest. Wish I had a bigger brush. Think we're gonna need a bigger boat. You know, I know a couple people commented earlier, you know, I can smell that machine from here, but Actually, no, it didn't smell at all because that wasn't tobacco residue. That was actually just dirt, just ordinary dust. So it didn't have that awful stink. Thank Christ. Because you can't get it out. You know, I don't know if any of the people who have donated me things in the past are watching. If you are, I don't hold this against you. Please don't feel judged. But when people send me things that have been in smoking households, they smell like that forever. I have several items like this. In particular, I have a camcorder it's very cool. I'm really glad the guy sent it to me. It works perfectly and everything, but it was in a smoking household and it just reeks. It's just I've had it for over a year. I have washed it thoroughly. I have let it sit out to outgas and nothing helps. It'll smell like that for the rest of its days. Anyway, so yeah, this thing smells good, and I also like the fact, like I said, everything about it's easy to work on. As you can see, I just took out the damn front panel header and rethreaded the cable. It's just easy peasy, like no big deal. God, this is such an upgrade. All right, so this thing's clean enough. If I find any sort of nasty bits later, I'll take another run at it, but. How's this want to go back on? What's going on here? Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay. Let's get in there and just give it a little bit of a wipe down. One thing I wish I had when working on PCs, I wish the cases had sort of just a dingus somewhere, just a loop that you could hang cables on so they're out of the damn way, because that is always a problem. Like you can cable tie them and whatnot, but you know, it's just tedious and it takes time. And I just wish I wish they just had a built-in hanger just for maintenance, so you can pull the ATX power cables out of the way and just tuck them aside temporarily, that sort of thing. Some of the schmutz on the bottom here is actually permanent. It's that weird paint crap that spattered all over the back. A little bit of it got inside. So I'm not going to get it spick and span here, but it also doesn't need to be. That's the other thing, right? You know, it's not putting this up on eBay. It doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. I just want to get it not disgusting. Okay, that's pretty good, and I need a new rag. I'm not the biggest fan of 409 as a cleaning agent. Like, it's a more powerful degreaser than some of the other, you know, lightweight options. But personally, I actually prefer window cleaner, glass cleaner. I find it to be very mild. I don't know of anything that ammonia melts, and that stuff is usually pretty much ammonia based. There must be something that ammonia dissolves. I've just never run into it. Okay, I think almost everything that's back here is just schmutz from the overspray. So then let's just wipe this side down real quick, and then we'll be ready to start putting this thing back together. I saw somebody asking what's worse, smoke or bugs. Definitely bugs. You know, I've got machines and cameras and whatnot with smokers along that I'm happy to touch and handle without even washing them. You know, I don't love it. I say happy. I'm not happy per se, but I can do it. Something's got bugs in it. It's always got bugs in it. If you're talking about, like, you open it up and there's freaking, I don't know, roaches or something in there, I assume that's what you're talking about. I've heard tales, but never personally encountered it. Thank God. Gross. All right. So let's just push that guy aside. Bed bugs. Yeah. Let's actually stop talking about bugs. I'm gonna go ahead and say let's call that conversation done. I think we all have the same opinion here. Okay, so this machine has an optical drive in it, but it's got a white faceplate, and that's not super ideal. I don't think I have a black faceplate one here, so I'm going to throw it in the machine, because again, it's got quick releases, so it's no big deal. Oh, sorry, let me get rid of that. Pull that, and good, that's IDE. What is our power supply here? Oof, oofa doofa. Well, so this one's also a power man, but it's a 250 watt instead of a 480. Sorry, I was just reading chat here. Yeah, the Logitech keyboard. So the reason I've got that, by the way, is because here, let me just oops. Presets. Come on, bud. Oh, there we go. And just get up there. There we go. That's how I read chat and monitor the stream. I've got an actual like presentation monitor up here, so I can see what's going on there. Like I can see the full screen image, but there is where I can see the chat, and it's also where I can like move things around in the layout and whatnot. So I just made my mouse cursor really big, and I can control it remotely. So I needed a wireless keyboard and mouse to do that. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm going to lose this power supply because at 250 watts, that just sort of says it's even older, and I don't need trouble. I'm going to keep it. Thank you. I'm quite satisfied with the space and what I've done with it. Like, I wish I had more space. There's another unit in the building that we were thinking about renting kind of before the plumbing stuff happened. Probably not gonna have an opportunity though. Oh, it's a 1650 Pro? Shit, I didn't know I had this. I might be able to demo something with this, depending on how long have I been streaming. An hour. Okay, so I gotta wrap this up fairly quickly once we get. Really? Really? This fan's just loose? How did I never notice that? It's been like 2 ass years. Oh, the purpose of the teal background is because I can chroma key with it, right? Of course, it can key me too, but yeah, I can chroma key with it. But it also has, it's also not obviously green or obviously blue. So at first glance, you look at it and you don't necessarily go like, oh, okay, it's a chroma key studio, right? Not to mention the fact that Windows. I actually, I think I talked about this when I redid the studio. Maybe I didn't though. When I got the paint, the way I got the paint was I went to Sherwin-Williams website, and I went to their paint matcher and I uploaded a picture of the Windows 95 default desktop, just a screenshot, like 640 by 480, and I let it give me a swatch that matched that color, and bought exactly what it gave me. And everyone realizes that it's supposed to be Windows 95, so it did exactly what it was supposed to do. I'm super pleased. Oh, weird. I was using a SATA hard drive on here? Wow, this is a fairly recent P4 board. As you can see, though, it's so hard to see down in here. This case just... because it's got this really... I guess it doesn't have a deep overhang there. Huh. Well, anyway, the machine's just super awkward. It's just super awkward, and I don't like it. So, I want it to be less awkward. Oh, okay. I guess the problem is that normally you've got more overhang past the motherboard on the bottom. So it's the CPU or the power supply that's tucked up under the edge at the top. So, all right, screws time. Let's pull these screws. Oh, I spiked the motherboard heatsink down over the damn power supply cable. Shit. No way to get around that. Just gotta pop that bastard out of there. And there we go. May God have mercy on whoever designed the Pentium 4 heatsink. It is better than what came before. I cannot deny that. However, also, oh, is the camera not focused? Really? Really? Huh. Bing. Bonk. Is that better? That should be better. Sorry. Might also be that it's getting confused because of my head. I don't know. Oh, you know what? Should probably pull the sound card too. That would help. Beep. This is also using these pan head Phillips screws or button head Phillips screws. I can't remember which one it is, which I don't really like. Oh, that's fun. That's fun. The I/O shield just came off with the board. That's new. Haven't had that happen before. All right. Oh. The hard drive's dead. I guess I need a floppy drive, so I'll go ahead and bring the floppy drive over. Which I think is just held in by one screw. Oh, did I really put 2 screws in it? What is wrong with me? Oh, right. I don't have the faceplate anymore. Whatever. I don't care. I'll keep it for spare parts. I know it works. And then we'll just pull the power supply too, because it may not be a good power supply, but it is a good power supply, if you know what I mean. That's right. Yeah, they do make those boards, the gamer boards. Yeah, sorry, I'm just reading chat once in a long while. They do make those gamer boards that have the built-in I/O shields. I actually like it, you know, because it just kind of looks more like a finished product, you know. All right. Okay. And there it is. Goodbye, the edge. God, that doesn't weigh anything at all. They're called reps. Okay. To wit, don't even need to take the front panel off. Is that not awesome? I declare that that's awesome as hell. Oh, I actually really hate not having an I/O shield. Oh, you know why it came off? Because this cap. Here, let me go to the overhead. There we go. This cap over the VGA port. So this was an OEM board. This came out of a Compaq, it looks like. I didn't even remember that. $5. This is a P4 SD L4. And I'm looking for a part number. But I strongly suspect this came out of like a Compaq. So, yeah, they put the... the cap on there so that you wouldn't realize, you wouldn't miss the fact that it's got an actual graphics card instead of just onboard, right? So that makes a lot of sense. But it also has the effect of screwing the I/O plate. There we go, to the motherboard, which is kind of good in its own right. I never, you know, honestly, I might start buying those and doing it on purpose just to keep my motherboards and I/O shields together. It's kind of a good idea, I think. Okay, let's get this bad boy back together. It's got a little more. It looks like it's got a little more breathing room than it did in the old case. I could be wrong. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. Built-in case mount. Case mount standoffs are cool. I like that. These should all be coarse thread. Oh shit, is there something stuck under the board? Oopsie, clamped a cable under the board. That's why it felt so weird. Somebody was probably yelling at me about that in the chat, but you know, Hey, look. Screwing up is part of the experience, right? Magnetism on this thing is so weak. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, we did it. We did it. We did it. Oh. Okay. Sorry, I was just glancing at chat for a second. I should have a little foot pedal I step on whenever I do that. Just like a little, it's like the this player is typing balloon that used to show up in, what was it? Was it Quake or something that had that? I'm trying to remember. I don't think it was was it Half-Life? Maybe it was multiplayer Half-Life that had the little balloon that would pop up to indicate, yes, please murder this guy. He made a bad decision. All right, I think I nailed everything. Okay. And now let's go ahead and leave these bundled, but fortunately it's a separable 24 pin. Use that. Okay, goes there. Tuck that underneath. We're not going to need the SATA converter. I'm not even sure why they even have that on here. Oh, sorry, they had that on here. Okay, same question. There's SATA built into the power supply. Why did they have a SATA adapter on there? Hello? Is this thing on? That was not a literal. That question was comedic. It was not literal. And then what are you? This is the 4+. Wow, this is quite a recent power supply. It's got the 4+4. Does it matter which one I use? I don't think it does. I think they're identical, right? No, they're not. Shit. I'm pretty sure I can use whichever one fits and it's safe. Well, technically, I think they're wired the same, right? Let's check if that's true. Yep, yellow's on the bottom and black on top, right? So yeah, whichever one fits is safe. Let's see. That one goes. Let's just make sure the other one doesn't go. Yep. Well, it does if you force it. But I think we're good. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I would recommend, map the foot pedal to a... So, let me show you what I use. This here is the AirTurn Duo, and this is a Bluetooth device. I think you can also plug in via USB. And what it does is, you turn this on. Okay, it's connecting to my PC. There's a lot of these products, but I happen to like this one. This is obviously not sponsored or anything. Now, this should work. There we go. Yep. Pedal 1, pedal 2, pedal 1, pedal 2. So what's going on is this appears as a Bluetooth human interface device, and it's got a bunch of presets for what the inputs do, because it's actually a 5-button device. These controls are mapped to buttons 1 and 3 on here, because you can actually unplug these, and this comes off. Well, whatever. Anyway, this snaps off, and you can plug in any sort of switch closure that you want that uses these guys, or you could buy other accessories, or you can just use it by itself, just as a handheld device. And then the software for it can remap every one of these buttons to do anything you want. It could be virtual key presses. I think it'll do like mouse crap or joystick crap. I'm not sure offhand, but I mapped these to like Control-Alt-Shift-1 and Control-Alt-Shift-2, so that when I press these, I just got those set up as global hotkeys and just in OBS, but you could just as easily do it in Discord. And also, something you can do with this that's very convenient if you're worried about overlap. The Windows, and actually all PC human interface code, supports function keys, not just up to F12, but all the way up to F24, I believe. But there's no keyboard that supports them, so no software implements it. But it works in any program that allows custom keyboard assignments. So what I did for my Stream Deck here, if we go to, so these are direct OBS shortcuts using the Stream Deck API. So I could select my scenes and mute myself and whatnot. But then if we hit PTZ here, these are my camera controls. So I can steer the camera right from here. And what this is actually doing under the hood is, this is Control-Alt F13. This is just F13. This is Control-Shift F13. This is Control-Alt F14, and so on and so forth. So you've got basically hundreds of extra key combinations that you're guaranteed will never collide with anything. So I just programmed these all into OBS. You could basically, it's kind of tedious. You could go into the Stream Deck controls. You have to manually pick every one of these with your mouse, because there's no way to, well, I mean, I guess you could use a program that could generate those keys if you had one to make it a little easier. But otherwise, yeah, you just got to you got to click through and manually pick all the keys. So anyway, it looks like somebody else just joined. Yes, this is me dismantling and rebuilding the computer that I called the Edge. I deliberately made the video as confusing as possible. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, this thing, I think the price on it was pretty reasonable, and it's not like super generic Chinese crap. It's made by like a company that you know, has a fixed address, because I think these are intended either for presentations or accessibility. I can't remember which. They're a little tedious to figure out at first, but once you get it programmed, the battery life on them goes for eons. That's the cool thing. I haven't charged it since I got it. I think it's Bluetooth low energy, so it runs off like a few milliwatts, and I think it's pretty much only on when you press the buttons. So, all right, let's get our hard drive mounted. And again, for anybody who wasn't here earlier, look how dope this is. This case rocks. Just drop that guy in there. Oop, there we go. Done. And it's nice that this machine came with a high-speed 80-line 80-conductor cable. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. You know what? I didn't notice this. There's actually a missing standoff hole down there, and the board bends. Oh, that sucks. I'm going to have to get one of those plastic independent standoffs that you can put into just the board itself to support that. That kind of blows. Oh, and then let's do this right. So let's see. We come up here, and then we're going to want to bend what, that way? Or can we do it that way? Or can we actually, now that I think of it? Hang on a second, let's plug that in. Okay, and then, there we go. Put a crease in it like that, and it'll hold that crease, and then it won't want to fight me. Oh. All right, and then let's get the optical drive hooked up. I prefer to use 40-line cables for that because they're more flexible. Okay, good. This one does have a key. Okay. And let's take advantage of somebody already put a crease in this one, so let's go ahead and take advantage of that. And it is upside down. Let's put that. There we go. There we go. And then that one looks like it's supposed to be loose. Oh, that won't quite reach. It'll reach the floppy drive, but I'm going to have to free up a new connector to power the... oh, no, there we go. There we go. Didn't see... Oh, I didn't see you up there. Gordon Freeman. Yes, I recognize you. Plunk. There was a little bit of cable management on that, but overall, I think we're doing okay. And then let's thread this. I just realized I didn't thread that underneath. Crap. Let's pull the hard drive cable back out. Fix that. Let's unplug that. There we go. There's all of our crap. Okay. Now we can put this back. As far as I know, the creasing doesn't cause any issues with the you know, frequency limits or anything. Now, this case unfortunately uses those, oh, that sucks. This uses those USB connectors you got to figure out yourself. But if we can find the grounds, crap. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure which side the ground is on. If you do it wrong, you cause problems. I guess I could meter it. Can anybody remember whether the ground is pin 1? Because I see the pin 1 label. Or do I? Oh, that's kind of weird. I'm just gonna frickin', I'm just gonna meter it. I'll be right back. Pretty sure I had a fluke meter here. I thought I did. Maybe I just have one at home. This will do. Yeah, no, I just had this one. No scream? Oh. Wow, that was a thick coating. Okay, yeah, it looks like the ground is on the right. All right, let's... So then it goes that way. These both rotated the same way? Yes. Oh, I hate these things. I'm not sure why these ever existed. To the best of my knowledge, the only time that the USB pinout was not standard was on, God, like USB 1, like 1.0. I think they hadn't standardized it, but after that they did. And it's really a crapshoot whether you... Oh, I hate these things. It's really a crapshoot whether you'll get a case with the split headers or not. Certainly in this era, I don't know if they still do it. But I never understood why they existed because I never once ever saw a machine that needed it. And it's just one of those things where I feel like the generic factories that throw these things together, they just sort of, they start from whatever instructions they have, I guess, whatever. They just sort of go with whatever set of instructions they have from like whoever they bought their OEM design from, I guess. And so sometimes they pick one that's just, eons out of date. And sometimes they don't. Just no rhyme or reason. You know what I'm noticing? I don't think that this... Does this have onboard audio? Yes, it does. But I'm not seeing a header anywhere. We've got... Oh. I might see why, too. So if we get in here, and I'm just guessing here, but... So I don't see an audio header, but we've got the onboard headers for plugging in your CD audio, which has been broken off, unfortunately. That was actually shorted until I just fixed it right now. Then your aux input, and then your... A really weird... It says Spirk out, and that's not a speaker connector, so I'm not sure what that's about. And then HP out, that might literally be Hewlett-Packard. That would make sense. So, as far as I can tell, though, yeah. Whoops, that wasn't the button I wanted to press. Damn it. Yeah, no, I'm screwing it up. This Stream Deck control pad for the PTZ is not as convenient as it could be. Unfortunately, real PTZ controllers are stupid expensive, like $400, $500 minimum. Speaker out. Okay. There we go. Okay, so we got the FireWire, and then we've got USB front 1 and 2, and then we have the panel header. And I don't see audio down there anywhere, and I don't see it anywhere else. So, well, anyway, let's just see if we can get this panel hooked up. Sorry for the head, but... Okay, so it's hard drive LED and then reset on the top, and then power LED and power button on the bottom. Hopefully we don't have any funky headers. What is this? What is this card? Joker. You were supposed to take these out of the deck. Oh, I see. It's one of those where it's got the both the 3-pin and the 2-pin version of the power header, so they sort of tie it up on itself. Well, I could just do like that. Let me zoom out a little bit. There we go. Of course, there's always the risk of getting all of the headers backwards when you don't know where the ground is. So I guess... I mean, they just don't work. It doesn't hurt anything, but let's just see if we can find them. Okay. Huh? That's weird. Oh. Sorry if you can just see my head, but I'm having a problem. Okay, I'm going to assume grounds are to the right, and also that white is the grounded line. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay. Okay, power LED, and then reset is to the right of that. Oh, does this case not have a reset button? Really? Oh, that's a bummer. There's no damn reset button. Oh, take it back. Worthless. No need for this. Irritating. Irritating. Oh, I also plugged this in backwards. That's the damn hard drive light, not the power light. There we go. That goes on the bottom. That goes on the top. There we go. And then power goes on the bottom. And maybe what I'll do is I'll get some obnoxious front panel I/O and like overclock meter thing that has a reset button built in and add it to this thing. I think that would really juice up the complete the look. My voice came out all scratchy when I made that Grand Theft Auto joke just right there. Complete the look. Okay, speaking of completing the look, I'm going to show you, I'm going to put some cards in here, and then I'm going to show you what we're not going to be putting into this particular machine. So I picked this up at the RePC the other day, and it is a audio amplifier and a speaker set that goes in your front 5 1/4 bay. So you got your volume level there, you get a loudness, headphone out, it's got like a woofer port, and then it loops through your machine, plugs into your sound card, and it runs off hard drive power. Absolutely whips, but also, so you can get that proper stereo imaging. You can tilt it side to side. Does that not bang? Does that not bang? Anyway, yeah, I'm not gonna mount it in here. I don't know. You know, I guess I could very carefully spray paint it, I suppose, but no. Also, oh, yeah, that's quality, baby. That's quality. You know, actually, maybe we should see what's inside this before I use it in anything. Oh yeah, you know the device is good when you start to turn the screw, and it makes that noise. Yeah, baby. The other thing is I won't be able to put this in because there's no way these pegs are going to go into the little holes here on the side. They're supposed to be self-tapping, so I might try. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's so good. Wait a minute. Whoa. Oh, my God. That's a speaker grill. This thing actually has 3 drivers in it. Get out. Get out. What? This is sick. Look at that. That's a 3-inch driver. That's actually pretty good. Of course, it's, oh my God, it's hot glued in. Oh, you got to see this. This is sick ass industrial design. Look at this. They have plastic bosses under the speaker, and they just press the speaker onto the bosses and then put a huge lump of glue on top of it. Yes! Yes! Oh, yeah. Oh, you're totally right. This puts a magnet next to your floppy drive. Yeah, baby. Okay, now let's be real. You got to really rub a magnet on a floppy disk to damage it. And also, this has got this shield on here that's going to help with that. But it doesn't change the fact that this is a very bad idea. God, this rocks. Now, let's just... Well, a little bit of plastic schmutz came out. Not much. So I don't know what the deal is with the rattling noise. That seems to be resolved now. Let's get that back located. I have to admit, this is kind of better designed than I was prepared for. Like this slots into place real nice, and the clamshell design is pretty tight. So other than the tied up cables for a strain relief, like, oh look, and you know what? They've got this ridge here to sort of ensure that you have a kind of a base port or base, yeah, whatever. Anyway, this is sick, and it's going in something, but I don't think it's going in this machine. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Probably not. It just wouldn't be congruent, you know? It wouldn't Kong. We're almost done with the stream. I'm going to fire the machine up, and then I'm going to go buy some leeks. We're going to have that twice cooked pork for dinner. Get hyped. Oh. Whew. Okay. Are we done? Oh, well, the cards, obviously. Lol. Now, a neat thing, this is a mini ATX board, and it turns out that at the mini ATX size, this toolless clamp covers all of the PCI slots. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just noticed something. Whoopsie. Missed a screw. Missed one screw. Somebody probably called that out earlier. I was remarking earlier that when people build their own PCs, they never put all the screws in. They just don't. But, you know, I try to. It does make it a little more rigid, a little nicer. See, again, this is another reason that I might end up upgrading this machine later in order to populate all the... to take advantage of the remaining space in the case, right? I could put a full-size ATX board in here. Oh, that's right. I'm going to do one interesting thing unrelated to this machine once I have it up and running. I could demonstrate a little thing that I've been playing around with lately. Oh, you know what? I just noticed. There we go. All right. That's the machine. Okay, let's put the case side on. Here it is. Oh, whoops! Didn't remember to brush the case off. Oh, damn! That's all gonna fall inside. Why am I doing it here? What is wrong with me? Did it make a mess? Yeah, it made a mess. Ah, crap! No, that's not a good place for that. Hang on. Damn it! Just finished cleaning it. Made a huge goddamn mess of it again. Stupid. Not smart. Of course, some of that might be the crap I just knocked off the PCI bracket, so whatever. Or some of it may have, now that I think about it, some of it may have come off the cards when I put them in. So, cleaning is forever. You're never done. Oh, I guess I should probably actually brush this off. Okay. Bob Ross, baby. Oh, you know what else? I just realized I never put the fan back in the back of the chassis. Whoopsie. We should probably have one vent fan, you know. All right, we'll take care of that because I think I probably have a free header for it. Oh, there's some schmutz here. Doesn't want to come off. It might be damaged paint. Oh, the GPU power. Thank you. I would have missed that. Nothing worse than wet dust. Ugh. Throw that over there. Okay. Let's finish the fight. So plug that bad boy in. Tinkle. And let's get this fan mounted. We want that exhausting, so mount it thusly. There we go. Where are the damn screws? Here's one. One is enough, right? Okay, where the hell are the rest of my screws? I am short one fan screw. There it is. I guess I didn't put a floppy drive in this machine yet, but you know, it's fully installed and everything, so I shouldn't need one. And I've got my front USB ports now, which I never had working on the Edge, and I'm not, off the top of my head, I'm not sure why that was. Okay, now I think we're done. Okay, let's make some room here on the desk. And, oh, you know what? One little tiny boo-boo. Oh, I didn't plug the damn fan in. I mounted the fan, but I didn't plug it in. I'm not a smart man. Hang on. Probably like 6 or 7 people in chat were like, you gotta plug the fan in. You gotta plug the fan. You gotta plug it. There we go. 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 That right there is like the type of mistake I make. Yeah, no cat jam today. Well, I mean, here's a little. All right, let's see if this damn thing works. Where's my keyboard? All right. Power on. No whammies. Well. Well. Something's not connected. This was working, or no? I must have hit one of the headers wrong, or something shorted, but I think more likely I hit one of the headers wrong. Okay, ATX is in, 4-pin is in. Power LED, power button. Could it be off by one? Let's try that. No. Don't like that. Not a big fan of that. Oh, what the? Huh. I think the label, the legend might be backwards. Yep, the legend is completely backwards on the headers. All the rows on the bottom are labeled on the top, and vice versa. God damn it. Yeah, my power light is currently being my hard drive light, and vice versa. Okay, so I just need to fix that. Ugh. Inconvenient. I do not wish to have this problem. That up. Put that there. Okay. I also realized while I was doing that there is a speaker header, and I do actually have an onboard speaker in the case. I didn't notice that before. I didn't see a piezo on the motherboard. So maybe there is one. I don't see it. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, the onboard speaker header does not look standard. It's like a weird 4-pin with a gap in it. So it wouldn't work for this unless... All right, well, I guess I'll worry about that later. Let's just see if she works. Okay, power on. Will we get a picture? Will we get a picture? No, but it's a 5-pin with a gap. Like, it's got 3 pins, skips 1, and then there's another pin. Really weird. Okay, hard drive and CD-ROM. Whoa, the colors at the top there. Those are funky. Well, that's what I'm thinking. It might be for a case that actually had a built-in speaker. I think those colors were supposed to be animating, because that's, I'm pretty sure. That's right, yeah. You remember how the Phoenix BIOS used to have the animated top bar? Well, I think that was a bunch of palette entries that weren't being updated. They were just sitting at their default. So that's very strange. Oh, and there is a built-in piezo. Okay. There ought to be a picture right now. Oh. Weird. That just took a really long time. Huh. Oh, that's right. I think I need to rewipe the, I think I need to wipe the hard drive and reinstall Windows, because I only had 2K on here for a very temporary purpose. I'm not even sure if I've got, I don't even know if I have the graphics drivers installed. It's Windows 2000 Server for some reason. Oh, I was having trouble with the CD-ROM, and that was just the only disk I could find that would read. So. Cycling Colors has always been gamer. thing's appropriately slow, too. Very period accurate. Okay, looks like I do have the drivers installed. Okay. So since I have drivers installed, I should be able to play media. So I'll be right back. I just need to grab a program. Okay, so we're back. Possibly not for long, but we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So, okay, you may notice there's a PVM on the desk. We'll get to that. First question: do we have the ATI control panel, or did I not install it? Suddenly worried. Oh crap. Shit. Did I, for some reason, not install the actual ATI control panel? It looks like I didn't. How did this happen? Okay. Oh, it's because .NET isn't installed, isn't it? Shit. That's inconvenient. Let's see, what version of the driver do we have? Oops, that's not what I wanted. Okay, so it's fully drivered up. It's the ATI driver. And it's version, what is that, 8? So, I'm not sure which of these that might be. But either way, yeah, I'm pretty sure I know what the problem is. It's just that you got to install like 3 different updates before you can get the damn control panel to work. Well, you mean libraries that came out 8 years after this operating system was made? Yeah, I agree. That would be a real problem, wouldn't it? This is literally not an issue on any version of Windows made after 2001. I'm trying to run software from 2006. Come on. Well, first things first. Wait, really? Oh my god, this is server. All the multimedia extensions are not installed. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do this on this machine. Alright, never mind. I'll do it next time I stream. Hopefully I'll have more info at that time anyway. So, alright folks, I got to go by leaks. I got to go buy leaks and do dinner and some other things. Hey, it's been fun. By the way, I never got a chance, but I guess I didn't install the sound drivers, otherwise this thing would have done its thing. So hopefully next time I'll be able to demo that. And maybe I will leave it in the machine. It do be looking kind of sick, honestly. There we go. So, The Edge 2. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good one. Enjoy your weekend.